Welcome to another interview of the From Guest to Great. And today we've got Tobeka Shabalala, who is going to tell us about herself. So, Tobeka, please tell us about yourself and what club you are from.
All right. As mentioned, I am Tobeka Shabalala. I am from the Absa Breakfast Club. So part of the Absa organization. There are three clubs. I'm part of one of them, which is Absa Breakfast. We meet every Wednesday, twice a month. So one Wednesday in the morning, hybrid, and another one in the evening, which is online.
You
Yeah.
guys get to have breakfast, nice breakfast, right? Is it nice breakfast or
Mhm.
none of that? Oh,
Our
okay.
breakfast is our speeches.
Ah, that's how you guys keep your members and your
Yes.
corporate members coming back. It's breakfast. Okay. Um, yeah, but anyway, so you are from a corporate club, so it is an interesting one to have because corporate clubs have um, different challenges to community clubs. So it'll be an interesting one. So yeah, first question is, what initially attracted you to the VPM role, and how has your perspective on membership grown since you've actually become a VPM?
So to be honest, I was not sure about taking on a leadership role. Because I remember initially I was studying as well when I started with the club. It was during COVID times, studying, and they approached me, Exco role. I was like, no, I'm still studying. But as soon as I was done with that, I think I just said any role, right? And the VPM membership one was interesting because it was something that was done for me as I was joining the club. So I was like, let me do that as well. So yeah, hand holding, with much hand holding, I was able to then take over that. And I'm actually doing it for the second term. So I was nominated again for it.
Okay, so the
Yeah,
VPN bug got hold of you and you've been in.
definitely.
And how
Definitely.
has your perspective on membership changed since then?
Sure. It has shown me that it's VPM role is like the heart of it. Yes, the people are the heart of the club, but what you do as you welcome the members is something that's very important. And I think the fact that you get to see them from joining to great as well, to becoming something else, to becoming great speakers is just the perspective that has changed for me. It's the fact that Toastmasters allows people to be more than what they thought they are or what they had fixed their mind to be. So yeah, I just love the journey that I can see because from inception, I'm the one who then connects with them and then they get to grow. It's yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I think I agree with you. Some of us join because we want to become great speakers, and then we find ourselves
Yep.
doing leadership, running for club director. We find ourselves in these positions, and all we wanted to do was just speak.
Yes.
So I get that. And I think the VPM role really does get to align a member with what they are trying to achieve in their personal life
Mm,
through
mm.
Toastmasters. So yeah, thank you. What strategies have been most effective in you attracting new members to the club, especially considering that it's a corporate club?
So first strategy was with us just saying if someone comes to the club, we reach out to them first and then we send them the information pack and we give that to them. But we've taken a different strategy with the help of our president, where we are saying we're reaching out to different groups within the organization. So, for example, if it's a risk function of the bank, we're reaching out
Mm.
to those individuals, more especially at an exco level, and they are then electing members to join this club of ours, but all dependent
Mm.
on if they really want it. Because if someone doesn't want to, it will not help. So then reaching out like that allows us to reach to more members, to more people. And also with there's academies within the bank that are forming where we are saying, okay, Toastmasters can be part of the learning track for some of the people, not just the academics, but also a practical way of learning. So it's all with embedding ourselves in the different areas and functions of the bank that's helping us grow our membership. And I must say the risk function of the bank has really grown our membership, especially this time of this period that we've had so far. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna throw in another side question. It's not part of the questions I've got, but
All
it's a side
right.
question. So wouldn't a speechcraft work? Do you think, like for example, if you've got a certain function within a bank, wouldn't it make sense to then run an 8-week program for that specific function and then get the members to do level 1 and then get them out their way? Or do you
No.
think them being incubated in this whole environment makes more of an impact?
I think the whole environment, because like we said in the beginning, you join just to be a speaker, but you realize that there's taking up roles, which then helps you to speak impromptu in specific meetings that you're in. So it helps your whole entire function. It just doesn't just help one part. If you happen to take on an exco role, you're learning leadership skills, you're learning to interact with people, to communicate. So there's so many facets that come out of Toastmasters that we can't just say one level and then go. It has to be the full picture because there's so much that you gain out of it. So I'm definitely not for just one level and then going. I think do the full suite and then, get the full thing from Toastmasters and not just to public speak. There's so much more.
I agree with you to a certain extent. I think I agree with you. Don't
Okay.
get me wrong. I agree with you. Especially when a club is formed, I agree with it. But once a club has been formed, I've seen clubs where, especially with corporate, where the participation is no longer there, and it really it hurts the members that are so involved and dedicated because you've got a club of 20 members, but you just have an group of eight that is so invested. So
Yeah.
that's where I disagree. Where if the community, the club is thriving, it's got a group of people that are dedicated and they're in week in, week out, I'm with it. So I agree with you. It's a wonderful environment, by the way. I love Toastmasters. Um, you know. So yeah, next question. How does your club ensure new members feel welcome and integrated into the Toastmasters journey?
All right, with this one, I have to thank our VPE. So she will definitely reach out to new members, whether they have been there once or twice, just to take up a role, whether it's table topics master, whether it's Toastmaster of the day. So that in itself, so being asked to do something and given a responsibility shows you that you belong in a place generally. So for me, that is what we've done really well, where we're finding that members who've joined for a week. I mean, we had one member who had just joined us and was able to assist as a timekeeper for our club contest. So stuff like that gets the person to a point where they are saying, I belong here and I'm actually doing something of value. So that is something that we've done really well. And also just checking up on people on their levels and just checking in. Why haven't you done your speech? How can I help you? And if you give them a role, you also help them with how they're going to execute it. So you don't just throw them in there and then they just don't know. Help them how to execute it and give feedback afterwards in terms of this is what you could have done better. And I really see people feeling like they belong and they get involved, and that's how they get their speeches done.
I think that's a very good approach. I've seen a member in one of my other clubs where the member was timekeeper and she did this for like 2 to 3 weeks and her confidence level came up. So I think getting the member to actually do the whole role playing goes a long way, especially even if they do it before or after their icebreaker. So do you guys do it before or after the icebreaker?
It doesn't matter. Depends on the person. If they are comfortable to do it before icebreaker, they can go for it. Because sometimes you ask for roles within the session. If someone
Mm.
lifts up their hand, then perfect. You just guide them quickly, send them what they need, sorted. So either way, depends on how it goes. Yeah.
Okay, great, great, great. We're gonna move on to our next one. What are the biggest challenges you faced in retaining members, and how have you addressed them?
So the biggest challenge is with corporate is members are actually asking the bank to pay for them. So it's not always self-funded. So the challenge will be, for example, if this year the company has agreed to cover your cost, then the coming year, maybe I don't know, it might be performance, whatever it might be, that the conversation happens with your manager, and this time you're not covered, which means we are losing a member because maybe they feel like they cannot self-fund. So funding is the biggest thing. But more especially, we try our best to also, like I said, with if you're reaching at a function level, you're reaching out to the exco members and you're helping them understand how this is beneficial to the person. And I think it works in that way. But also we then ensure that we give them enough information. So how we've always done is make sure you give them enough information to go with to their manager in order to sell what they want to do. So
Mm.
if a member is coming in by themselves and saying, I want to join, give them enough information and also ensure that we are saying that we are open to guide you and your manager in how to join the club, and whatever you need, we're always there to support. So that's how we've covered that. Yes, at times we will lose members or people will just lose interest, and that's just how it is. But with funding, we make sure we support in terms of how to go, where to from there, how to make the payments, how to give us the POP. But it then becomes a struggle when we go to the Toastmasters side, where we now have to reconcile everything. So self-funding becomes vital in that point. But yeah, we've tried our best to liaise with them enough in order for our memberships to get paid on time. So yeah.
I think it's that time frame, especially when
Yeah.
you're now sending your list to Toastmasters International and then the POP, internal processes. Yeah, it can be quite lengthy.
Yeah, the loop
So
is too long.
it's too long. It's too
Yeah.
long. So
Yeah.
if anybody's watching this and it's 1st of July, start in your corporate, start with the canvassing
Early.
for your people
Mhm. Yeah.
early. Then another side question. Another side question. I hope you don't mind these side questions.
No problem.
So then, do you think so? I'm saying a sponsor in terms of somebody that I'm going to say a sponsor now, in terms of somebody that advocates for this program, advocates for Toastmasters International within the exco level. Do you think Do you think they really play an important role in terms of how important for you guys do you think it is to have a sponsor within each department or within each function that believes in Toastmasters?
I think it's very important, especially being a corporate club, because if members are gonna say, I need 1.5 hour of my workday, just so I can join Toastmasters. If there's no one advocating for us, then no one sees the need for it actually. So you can find that you have lots of absenteeism with club meetings because there's no one advocating for us from an exco level. So it is very important, and I think it would actually be helpful because sometimes we do find that we're having to juggle our times a lot. I think now we've found a rhythm, but we've had to juggle our times a lot, especially this year with many members joining. We've had to juggle our time a lot because people have meetings, people have this and this commitment, whereas you have some members where the manager knows and they will not disturb at that time period. So it is really important. I think it would really be vital if we had more EXCO members reaching for us as a club.
Thank you. So sponsors, you're important. Be vocal. Don't think you're not seen and appreciated. You're appreciated. Keep supporting this initiative. Gonna move on to question 5. Which tools, events, and initiatives have increased member value in your club?
Sure. So, being mostly online, I think this year, what has really been a driver is the hybrid session where people are able to do their speeches in person as much as possible rather than just online. So I think that connection as well has really been helpful to us. We could do better with more socials. I think we've had a few socials, but not well attended. But I think again, with us being hybrid now and coming back to a space where we are joining together, collaborating, it'll probably get better. So I think we could do better with socials, but I think the hybrid move has really been a plus for us.
Okay, great, great, great. Thank you. I agree. Hybrid works sometimes, especially the facility. It's about
Mm,
facility. I think
mm,
facility is the most important. We've seen clubs that try and make it work, but they don't have the facility and it crushes them. So
mm,
I
mm.
agree. Um, question 6. How does your club gather feedback from members and how do you act on it?
So we have a section towards the end. I do realize that some clubs run it differently. So for us, we've got a general evaluator section where we are saying, if you're visiting us for the first time, please give us feedback on how you found the session. And in that way, we are able to get feedback and to actually act on it. So one thing is obviously with online, we tend to just switch off our cameras, we tend to be on our phones. So one member who had joined us from another club was like, it actually helps with interaction to have cameras on. So those are the things that we slowly but surely get to implement. So we get to implement them in the next session, of course. So if something has been said, we share it. And also from an ESCO level, when we have meetings, we share that. And I think I also forgot to mention that we have obviously a recognition platform that is within the bank. We're actually using it as well for our Toastmasters, just to recognize people who are doing things in our sessions. So yeah, we're using even the platforms from the bank just to help boost that morale.
I think what it also does, it creates a bit of FOMO for those that are not in the club
Yes.
itself.
Because
And I
someone will
encourage,
receive communication that actually I got recognized for Toastmasters. So it's also helpful. Yeah.
yeah, I encouraged one of the other clubs that I mentor to use that. One of the other things that I've seen that is interesting is people had QR codes where you can actually
Okay,
scan and
okay.
actually, and it takes you to a form that's got questions during the meeting, and you can actually drop them additional feedback because
Feedback. Oh,
people
yes, that
sometimes
sounds.
are afraid of speaking,
Yeah.
but they can type.
Yeah, that's interesting. We should. I'll definitely take it back to ESCO and see how we can make use of that.
Okay. And last question. I know we are pressed for time. I said 15 minutes, but I love talking to you guys. I
Very
honestly,
proud.
I think I scammed you guys. But nonetheless, what advice would you give to new VPMs trying to build over their membership base?
So I think more than anything is um, reaching out to members. So, for example, when I said in the beginning, if someone is visiting for the first time, notice that, reach out to the people, give them an option to be part of the community even before they sign up for a membership, just so that they can feel it out. Because some people do want to feel things out before they agree. So allow them to form part of your community even before they sign up, so that when they do sign up, they know what they're signing up into, and it's not everyone who needs that, right? And for those who will happily join in, get them involved as much as possible in as much as they can do, so that they can feel welcome and feel part of the club, and then they are able to soar from day one, basically. So involve them enough, reach out early as possible, and follow up, follow up.
I think that's a great way. And thank you. So those are my 7 questions, and I thank you for giving us your time. And lastly, can you leave us with some words of wisdom? I know you've already shared a lot, some words of wisdoms. And before I forget, what other leadership role are you taking in the new Toastmaster year? Or are you gonna relax?
I'll probably be doing VPE. I've been communicating with our current VPE just to see how things are going. So probably that. Hopefully I get nominated for that because last time I think I lifted up my hand for something else, but the outvoting was VPM for you. So but yeah, I'm looking at the VPE role this time around.
Okay. Okay, great. Can you leave us with some words of wisdom, just last.
Sure, this one is off guard, but I think I heard a quote again today. So maybe I'll share that. The quote goes, what you're not changing, you're choosing.
Ah,
So yeah, what you're not changing, you're choosing. So to those out there who are looking to improve their public speaking or whatever it is that they feel that they are fixed, there's a fixed mindset around, they can actually change it instead of choosing to stay in that state or whatever. So join Toastmasters, you never know what will happen out there. I've been told that we can see a difference. So I guess I've chosen to change it. I haven't chosen to stay in it. Yeah.
love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you. You know what? I'm gonna steal that one. It's got something. I've got a meeting on Friday. I'm gonna use that on
Please do.
Friday. So anyway, thank you, and yeah, all the best with your journey. And I'm gonna reach out to you when you're VP to come and share more information with
All
us.
right. Thank you so
Okay,
much for the
great.
time and the opportunity.